This is Neural Newscast for Tuesday, May 5th, 2026.
The stories defining the day.
From the Neural Newscast newsroom, I'm Noah Feldman.
And I'm Hannah Whitmore. A sharp diplomatic rift has opened between Washington and Berlin. Chancellor Friedrich Merz is criticizing the American strategy regarding Iran nuclear negotiations.
Speaking in Marsburg, Merz said the United States lacks a strategic exit from the conflict. He described the administration as being humiliated by Iranian leadership.
President Trump responded on Truth Social, claiming Merz does not understand the stakes. He asserted that the world would be held hostage if Iran obtained a nuclear weapon.
The dispute comes while the president hosts King Charles and Queen Camilla at the White House, adding complexity to current international relations.
Merz specifically highlighted the stalled talks in Islamabad. He suggested that Iranian negotiators are outmaneuvering their American counterparts by refusing to produce results.
The president countered that he is taking actions other leaders should have taken long ago, while also taking aim at Germany's economic performance.
In domestic policy, Nebraska has become the first state to enforce new Medicaid work requirements under a significant federal mandate.
The state is moving 8 months ahead of the federal deadline. Analysts expect this decision will strip coverage from more than 25,000 residents.
Governor Jim Pillen defended the early timeline, stating that work provides purpose and helps residents become more productive members of the community.
However, policy analysts like Ali Gardner at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities say Nebraska hasn't yet done the necessary hiring to manage this rollout.
This shift is part of a larger federal law that cut over $900 billion in Medicaid funding, while requiring states to implement work rules in exchange for coverage.
Estimates from the Congressional Budget Office suggest these requirements could lead to 14 million people losing health coverage nationwide by 2034.
Proponents, like Michael Cannon of the Cato Institute, argue the requirements are necessary to protect taxpayers from the rapidly rising costs of the program.
In Nebraska, residents will now have to re-verify their eligibility every 6 months. That is a major shift from the previous annual cycle.
Critics point to past programs in Arkansas, where 18,000 people lost coverage in 9 months. Analysts say many losses were due to confusing reporting requirements rather than employment.
Steady officials maintain they are ready, citing targeted training for staff and formal readiness demonstrations conducted with the federal government. Here is what else we're watching. Federal regulators are expected to release official implementation guidance for nationwide Medicaid changes on June 1st.
That guidance will be critical for the 29 states that have reported they may not be ready for the January 2027 overhaul deadline.
Next, Montana is preparing for its own rollout of Medicaid work requirements this July, potentially following Nebraska's early adoption path.
Iowa is also moving toward an early implementation, while Arkansas plans a soft launch later this year that will not include immediate disenrollment.
Finally, we are tracking the remainder of King Charles's state visit, which includes meetings with business leaders to discuss transatlantic trade relations.
Those meetings follow the recent diplomatic friction and will be closely watched for any shifts in economic cooperation between the United States and the United Kingdom.
That is the news for today. Neural Newscast is AI-assisted, human-reviewed. View our AI transparency policy at neuralnewscast.com. Thanks for listening.